Now, agree with me or not, there's an absolute phenomenon out there who's just released an album that he made his way nearly 50 years for. Look, it's about $4 extra for this version, and quite why you wouldn't want this one, I cannot think. That artist is Paul McCartney, and up next is my review of that album. Hi everybody, I'm Dave and I'm the album review guy, and in this video I'm looking at an album that was originally recorded in the studio back in the day that was intended to become really the cornerstone of a rockumentary, but it never appeared in its intended format. Stick around with me to the end of the video where you'll find out if I think it's worth purchasing. So at the height of their fame, Paul and Linda McCartney along with Denny Laine released the classic album Band on the Run. They'd welcomed Jimmy McCulloch and Henry Britton into the band after Denny Sewell and Henry McCulloch had left prior to the recording of Band had started. I'm no devotee of McCartney, so there will be others out there more qualified to talk about the great man, but what follows really are my thoughts on this album. Starting off with the cover, it's the most disappointing of efforts for me. There's a plain cherubic baby wearing a set of headphones with a set of wings flapping. Simple industrial style lettering, it's a very raw representation of the work for me. It's not even a gatefold for goodness sakes. There's a poster inside that's got a repeat picture of that album cover on one side along with quite tons of plain white paper, whilst on the other side there are some small band bios and pictures padded out in English, German and Spanish I think. Some originality required here, please. It's meant to be a live recording as well, but there is no audience, so it's a studio line version then, where really if he messed up on a track he could just simply record it again, nobody would really have known. I'm not sure of the concept there at all. Musically, it's like a greatest hits album from that point in Wings history. They were massive, so that's okay to have as a record in my opinion. Many of the tracks are recognised, some were new to me, but as I've said, I've not been a massive McCartney fan over the years. Side 1, there's the opening title track followed by Jet, love that, Soily, I'm not really familiar with that one. Then there's the lovely Sea Moon and Little Woman Love, the magnificent Maybe I'm Amazed, and finishing off with My Love. That's a really strong first side for me. Side 2 is Bluebird, I love that one, then 2 tracks I'm not really familiar with, Let's Love and All of You, then I'll Give You a Ring, followed by the massive hits Band on the Run, Live and Let Die and 1985, before finishing off with Babyface. Side 3 is the excellent John Lennon inspired Let Me Roll It, the old favourite Blue Moon of Kentucky, Power Cut and Lovely Baby are songs I don't really know, before 2 Beatles classics, Let It Be and The Long and Winding Road. Side 4 starts with Junior's Farm, and then a couple of songs I don't know, Sally G and Tomorrow, before a version of the Moody Blues Go Now, Wildlife, and finishing off with the wonderful Hi Hi Hi, which was banned in the UK charts for its suggestive lyrics back in the day if I remember rightly. The version I have is the one with the additional 7-inch EP on it, with the tracks Blackbird, Blackpool, Country Dreamer, 20 Flight Rock, a cover of Peggy Sue, and I'm Gonna Love You Too. Look, it's about $4 extra for this version, and quite why you wouldn't want this one, I cannot think. It's fair to say that these studio live versions are relatively unknown, making the album well worth purchasing for the devotees out there. But if you're just a fan, then this might not be the best purchase you will make this year. For me, it captures a period of the band that I was largely familiar with, but wouldn't have gone out of my way to get these different versions personally. The Beatles tracks should have been left off as they serve no purpose for me. This is about Wings, not about the Beatles. And overall though, it was a nice jog down memory lane. If I'm honest, I'm still not sure why it's taken 50 years to be released, but maybe somebody out there with better knowledge will tell me. It's an 8 out of 10 for me, but the track on screen now is a definite 10 out of 10 and one of my favourite Wings tracks ever.